Did you know about the eschatological or end times connection to Palm Sunday? So it was Palm Sunday the other day, yesterday. If you didn't realise, maybe you don't follow that tradition, but it is when we celebrate and remember Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem, which we can see in texts like Luke 19. But just before this entry of Jesus coming on the donkey, he tells a parable, often called the parable of the 10 minas. Similar to the 10 talents, but slightly different. It's in Luke 19, verses 11 to 27. I won't read the whole thing, but it starts with, as they were listening to this, he went on to tell a parable because he was near to Jerusalem, and they thought the kingdom of God was about to appear right away. That's the key part. And then it ends with, but bring my enemies here who did not want me to rule over them and slaughter them in my presence. But in a nutshell, this whole parable is about a king or a nobleman who is going to go away for a time to receive royal power to be basically made a king, and then he's going to come back and rule the people, and he leaves servants in charge to look after his estates, while he's away. But it also says that when he goes, a delegation of people who don't want him to be king go after him to tell whoever he's going to see that, they don't want him to rule over them. So this leads into the Palm Sunday readings we have of Jesus coming into Jerusalem, being celebrated as a king as he's riding on the donkey. This ties into Daniel 7, where we see, in a sort of spiritual sense, vision of what's going on when Jesus dies, resurrects, and is given glory and power and authority. Daniel 7, 13 to 14 says, I saw one like a human being, or son of man in some translations, coming with the clouds of heaven. He came to the Ancient One and was presented before him. To him was given a dominion and glory and kingship, that all peoples, nations and languages would serve him. And dominion would be everlasting and never pass away. Without getting massively into it, coming on the clouds is often in the Old Testament a metaphor for judgment, or judgment of God, and you see it multiple times where God comes with clouds to judgment on Egypt, etc. So when Jesus departs, as in dies, he disappears for a little while, he gets ascended to heaven, he receives his power, and then he's later going to come and return, which is in the Roman Jewish War of 70 AD, with the clouds, which is judgment of God, to destroy Jerusalem, the people who rejected him.